All right, guys, welcome back. I'm going to be talking today about how a lot of women simply never get over their ex boyfriend. And meanwhile, for nostalgia, I'm playing Lego Indiana Jones 2 while I'm recording this. So, anyway, I'm having fun today. I have to go to work in about an hour. I have to start getting ready. About maybe an hour and a half, anyhow. But anyway, I've found that if you're a Gen Z guy and I wouldn't say you're out like trying to date, but you've been paying attention to what's going on with the way dating is going in the modern era, you know that it's just like fucked. It's completely screwed. So, anyhow, beyond this, how we got here, I think a big deal surrounding it is that every girl is like just straight up hooked on her ex boyfriend still. Like, prime example, I have had. Apparently, this isn't even that good because my one friend who's 2 years younger than me, 3 years younger than me, he's had five girlfriends already. He's not even left high school. I've had two. What is he like? He's like, must be like an absolute player or something. Holy shit. Anyhow, um, this guy, I was telling him, I said, I've had, two girlfriends, and I've had, a lot of female friends in general, right? So friends that are girls but aren't exactly, girlfriends or romantic prospects, right? So I said to him, I said, well, my first girlfriend would take pictures of her ex boyfriend, like right before we got together. She had pictures of him, I guess, and she was I don't think you can hear the background, but it's not very loud. She was telling me she was showing pictures of him and saying how he was like taller than me or this or that, and I'm not even that short. I'm 5'10". I'm an inch above average. But she was trying to tell me like, yeah, he was like taller than you or some shit. You know what I mean? And that is annoying to deal with. First of all, because I've just met you and you're already comparing me to your ex boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like she would take pictures. She would show me pictures of him all the time and be like, "Yeah, he was taller than you, but I think you're like more muscular than him." Which is just coping. That's coping because women don't want to tell you that they actually think you're like less than or whatever, right? Because women don't care about muscles. They really don't, like at all. And if a woman tells you that, she's just bullshitting you. I've never met a girl who actually likes muscles, bro. They could care less. It's basically just a bonus. It's not on their criteria of reasons to date a person at all, which I mean is fair. But I'm just telling you, if they tell you that, they're fucking lying to you. Um, so there's that. I've always been compared to the ex-boyfriend. I feel like this happens to a lot of guys. I keep forgetting the camera's on this side. I've always been compared to the ex-boyfriend, and because I've always been compared to the ex-boyfriend, it feels like there's this like contentiousness. There's this like tightness in the relationship. Like she's always thinking about the ex-boyfriend subconsciously, and she's always comparing you to the ex-boyfriend. You see what I'm saying? And that just doesn't work for long term. It really doesn't, because my girlfriend after that, and I was with her. This was the last girlfriend I've been single for the last year and a half or something like that. Um, she literally, I'm not trying to be gross at all, but this is just what happened, and I'm using this as an example. But she literally told me she thought I would not be able to hit it from the back because her ex boyfriend was, quote, too small. And that's just so fucking gross thinking about that. That's something you don't want to think about while you're, doing the deed with your girlfriend. You don't want to think about how big her ex boyfriend was. It's fucking gag worthy. And I mean, she said I was bigger than him, but that's besides the point. That's fucking gross. Why are you telling me about this? Like, I just don't understand why this is a thing we're doing. And like I said, a lot of these women, I feel like it's the idea of like humans are kind of, people say humans are not meant to do this, and I think it's a complete lie. People say humans are supposed to be polyamorous creatures, right? They say that the humans are supposed to be polyamorous, and they're supposed to take, many wives and or husbands if they're women. They're supposed to have many kids with many different people. I think that's just complete bullshit because I've seen it happen so many times where the a woman or a young adult girl, whatever you want to call it, is just they just are hung up on their ex-boyfriend because he was like their first big love, right? If that makes any sense. He was like the first big deal to them. So they kind of just hold him in higher regard over the average dude. Like most girls I've met do not give a fuck about you, and they are just there to replace you. You know what I mean? Or that you're just the replacement guy. You're the fall guy. You're the rebound guy. Or it used to be called the just in case boy, right? That was a thing in the '90s. Your fallback. There was a person you didn't actually really like, but you just kind of went with them because that's what you had. It was just and the only option you had available, essentially, and that was why you were there. And that's still a thing that happens. Like, I wouldn't say constantly, but it happens a lot. This whole, oh well, I'm just gonna go after a new guy, but I'm gonna keep the old guy in my back pocket because I've seen this happen so many times. People act like it's just bullshit. And I'm like, where are you living, bro? Because this has happened so many times. I can't tell you the number of times this has happened to a friend of mine or somebody I knew personally. Like it's always going on, dude. It's always happening. This stupid ass. I'm gonna just move. I'm not gonna move on. I'm gonna tell you I moved on. Sorry if this is word salad here because I'm in the middle of doing this stupid motorcycle race and my bike blew up again. But like you know if this has happened. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we aren't fucking stupid. As much as women want to think that we're stupid, we're not fucking stupid. I know exactly how many times this shit has happened to me and how many times this is like you can tell when you're there. This is the thing with a lot of these women is they're on the dating apps and I find that a lot of the guys aren't on dating apps anymore because we've just collectively fucking decided it's a waste of time, right? So since we did that, we know it's a waste of time. The chicks are still on there, so they're still, able to kind of just pick and choose who they're gonna fucking see because they have near limitless options. Like average women have fucking limitless options, bro. That's the part everyone forgets about. Like a woman does not have to pick a man anymore. They really don't fucking have to. They can just take. They can. I mean, they don't have to pick, but what I mean is they don't have to pick a guy and stay with him. They really just don't have to do that shit anymore, bro. And they haven't had to do that in a very long time for like even like survival purposes. Like it's just a thing that they don't have to do anymore. And is that good? Is that bad? There's good and bad to that. But what I'm getting at here is that this is why dating feels so fucking bad for the average dude. And that's because to the average dude, you're in there, you're dating, and you can feel like she's like pulling away from you like this whole time. And like I'm talking even in the beginning stages, you can feel like something else is occupying her brain or her time during conversation. And like that just feels bad. It's like talking to somebody and like cuz I know people do this, cuz I'm human too. I've witnessed it. But like when a person is like talking to you and they don't actually give a fuck what you have to say at all, that's exactly what this feels like. And it just feels bad, dude. It just feels like shit. Because it's like I'm talking to you and you're actively not paying attention to me. And like you're choosing not to pay attention to me. That's the thing. It's not even that, oh, I'm just kind of ignoring you or whatever. It's no, they're actively choosing to look for another guy while they're dating you. Like, even that, this has happened in every one of my fucking relationships. Like, the ex-girlfriend won't block her ex, or the girlfriend, the current girlfriend won't block her ex. So I'm seeing a girl. This happened to my last relationship, literally the last one I had, like the last serious one I had, because I had an online fling that didn't go anywhere. But my last actual serious relationship, she was literally telling me she can't block her ex because that would be rude. And then right when we were done, I was blocked. I was blocked as soon as we were done dating. So that just goes to show you that it don't matter what you do, bro, because you're not getting away with from this shit, bro. You're not escaping it. No matter where you go, you are gonna have to deal with a chick who's just gonna not who's gonna entertain another guy while you're talking to her. That's just what you have to deal with in 2026, bro. Like, that's how it's been for a long time. And like I said in the video that kicked off this year, this shit is not gonna change, bro. This shit is not gonna change, especially just like overnight. It's not gonna change. It's not gonna be any different than it was in 2025, dude. It's not gonna be any different than it was in 2023 or 2024. It's the same fucking story you've been told 100 times. It's not gonna be any different at all. And dudes have to stop living in fantasy land because that's what this is at the end of the day. This is just fantasy land. The idea that you're gonna meet a girl and she's gonna be your whole world, bro. Like, even if you go to church, bro, these girls are not here. These girls are not here to be like your life partner. They're here to just get coitus. And that's the thing nobody wants to fucking admit is that a lot of guys are just not gonna experience like actual love. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not. This getting married shit and this having kids and going on a honeymoon, that shit is just not gonna happen for so many fucking dudes. And my friend was like, "Oh, you're black pilled." I said, "No, the fuck I'm not. I'm pragmatic. This is just not going to happen for so many fucking guys." Cause you look around, bro. People aren't dating. The ones who are dating keep going back to their fucking ex, and it's like, what's the point of any of this? Like I tell people, and people say I'm fucked up for saying this. I'm like, if I'm dating, this girl had better add to my life. She's not gonna subtract from what I have already. She's not gonna make me more tired. She's not gonna make me, take my peace from me. If she does, I'm not going to fucking date her, bro. I don't care what anyone has to say about that. I feel like if you're a sane human being, you agree. You just agree with that. That's not a crazy thing to say. That's like saying, yeah, I want a job, but if I have to, I'm not going to do a job, for example, because obviously I am employed, but I'm not going to do a job that I'm getting paid pennies on the dollar for, but I'm doing extreme manual labor 24/7. I'm not going to do that job. No one's going to do that job. If I'm making $2 an hour, but I have to lift a combined total of like 1,000 pounds a day, I'm not fucking doing that job, bro. I feel like that's a very normal like take. It's like the juice is not worth the squeeze. The trade off is horrible. So why would you do it? You wouldn't. That's the whole thing that nobody's understanding right now. Is that it's just all not worth it, kinda. And don't misunderstand, I'm not like angry, I'm not like bitter. I'm not mad at women as a gender, because people will say, oh, this guy's an incel. No, I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care. But what I'm gonna say is a lot of guys don't understand what the fuck is happening because if you're lucky enough, like my friend that had 5 girlfriends, guess what? He's fucking 6'8". He's 6'8" tall. That guy is almost a full fucking foot taller than me. He's like 10 inches he's like 10 inches taller than me. Yeah, because if I was 5'8", he'd be a full foot taller than me. Holy fuck. The average guy standing next to him gets absolutely mogged. And I hate using this terminology, but I only use it because people know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, the whole thing is a lot of guys aren't even attempting to date because they know this game by now. They know that if they date, the girl is just gonna get hung up on her ex. Like my current best friend is a girl. Some of you guys might be like, "Oh, he's in the friend zone." No, I honestly, God told me one time, if you don't believe in God, don't care. Leave your pithy comment. I don't care. Right when we first met and I didn't know her at all, I was like, "Hey, maybe I'll try to ask her out." And I felt the Holy Spirit, God, whatever you want to say it was, I felt that like in my chest. And it was like God saying, she's not for you, she's for someone else. And I respect the will of God, so I didn't challenge that. I was like, okay, she's not for me. You know what I mean? Let's just move on here. And that's what I did. You know, I just kind of went about my business. So the whole thing um with that is I'm not airing her out. I'm not, whatever. I'm just telling you what happened because what happened, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. Basically, her best friend got him really high, and she's obviously not best friends with her anymore. But her best friend got so my friend. Okay, I don't want to use names, but we'll name my friend Jennifer. I don't even know a Jennifer, so perfect. My friend Jennifer, her best friend got her boyfriend, so Jennifer's boyfriend, really high, and then she basically like raped him because he was so high. He was greened out. He couldn't even like think or talk. Right? He's basically immobile. And then she basically raped him because she had sex with him against his will. And then he told Jennifer that about what happened. And then sometime when Jennifer was out at work or whatever doing something, out on a trip, he went her boyfriend went back to Jennifer's best friend and cheated on her with this girl. The girl that molested him. Do you see what I'm saying? And they still agreed, Jennifer and her ex-boyfriend still agreed to meet back up later this year and try again. I've had 4 or 5 actual women that I've known, girlfriend or friend or otherwise, whatever, and this fucking shit, going back to the ex-boyfriend, happens every fucking time. Okay? And I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck. I'm not competing with the ex-boyfriend. If the ex-boyfriend is on the table, you can fucking have him. Go right back to the ex-boyfriend. Because I don't want to deal with your bullshit either. Because guess what? Even if I had a really good relationship with a girl, and then we ended up having to break it off because she went to college or whatever, or she moved states or moved out of the country, whatever, dude. That's completely fine. I'm not going to fantasize about her still. We're not together anymore. I'm not doing that. And I feel like this is such a normal ass thing to do, but no one fucking does it. Like if me and my ex-girlfriend ended on good terms, I would not hate her, obviously. But like I'm not going to go still thinking about her while seeing a new girl. See what I'm saying? Like all the pictures of her in my phone would either be deleted or in like a private folder that I can't see unless I go out and seek it, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't keep pictures of my ex-girlfriend. I have zero pictures of my ex-girlfriend. But most girls have a fuck ton of pictures of their ex-girlfriend or their ex-boyfriend. I'm sorry. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not competing. I'm not competing with your ex. And I wouldn't say that's the sole reason, but a lot of guys just haven't really realized that that's happening yet. So, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, once you figure out that's what's happening, and you hear, like, I'm at the point where if I hear some shit that I don't fuck with, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm not going to entertain this. Yeah, I'll talk to this girl, even though she is still wet for her ex-boyfriend. I'm just not. I'm just going to fucking leave. Like I told you guys in a previous video that this girl I was talking to online was she was talking with her. We were talking. I thought we knew what was going on because I made it very clear that I was into her, and she went back and started talking to her ex-boyfriend, right? I told her, I said, "What are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here?" And then she ended up not talking to me for like over a full day. It was like 24 hours. Blocked her. Got rid of that shit out of nowhere. And you guys need to start doing that. I know some of you guys are so fucking lonely, and excuse me, the coffee is coming back with a vengeance. Some of you guys are so lonely, and look, dude, am I lonely? A little bit because I don't. But here's the thing: I got God, and I got my friends, and I got my coworkers that I talk to at work, and I got the game, and I got my dad, and I got the guitar, which you guys are sitting on my guitar stand right now. But anyway, it's besides the point. Once you fill that void of like, oh, I don't have a girlfriend, you'll just improve because you're worried about other shit. Like if I never started lifting, bro, I wouldn't have that. Is that super impressive? Am I trying to gloat? No. But a lot of guys don't even have that, right? That's what I'm saying. You got to take what you got. You got to take your wins when you can. And you got to understand that you're more there is more value to you than the people you are able to sleep with. And like I said, being able to sleep around isn't even something that I like. Okay, is it fun? Yeah. Is it entertaining? Yeah. Is it fulfilling? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's fulfilling. It's not fulfilling. Because anybody can sleep around, bro. That's the thing. It's just two people get horny and they can sleep around. Now it's like I don't even have like it's like getting love is the end game. That's the real goal at the end of the day is having actual like love and experience, right? There's no need to this. Oh, I'm just gonna have this or that, whatever. Oh, I got to sleep around, but like I don't have any damn love in my life. You know what I mean? So like I feel like sleeping around makes the void worse. Like imagine you got shot, so you got a bullet wound, right? And then you start cramming the lust and the sex in there. The void gets wider and it gets wider because you're getting fake love. You're getting the replacement of love, right? So you get that in there, and it's like the whole void is just opening and opening because you never actually healed your presence of desire for intimate actual love. You just shoved sexual thrills in there, and that doesn't bring you anything. All it does is fuck up your dopamine. And this is why I keep saying to guys like if you quit watching porn, if you go outside more, if you go out and touch the grass, breathe the air, you will find that God is in this world. And that's all you need, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to cut it here. you have any comments, anything to say in the about the video, leave it below. I guarantee you I will read it and probably give a response if it's interesting enough. So thanks for watching.